We're back here on the Yaffee program. News Talk 770 AM 92.5 FM WVNN. You know, one person asked this before we get to the rewind. Somebody asked this because during Dale's show, we were talking about the fact that I hosted a Senate forum, and someone was mad I didn't ask really tough questions. Said, why didn't Yaffee ask hard questions at the debate? He could have asked Barry Moore about his past grand jury indictment. Could have asked Marshall about allowances of child labor violations. And could have asked Hudson about his TBIs and his former AUR partners and the Haiti Dominican Republic accusations. So I will say this. I had never heard about the last one, so I'll have to look into that. I appreciate that. I will say it wasn't really that kind of debate, honestly. When you have 5, 6 candidates, you have to ask them all the same question. And it's just getting their take on the issues. If we go into stuff like this for every different candidate and stuff, we're going to be there for like 5 hours. So, and plus I hosted it. But I mean, the organizers of the debate, the Republican Party, it just wasn't that kind of debate. Something like that would be better in an interview. So I guess I can ask if I get him on again, I'll ask about the interview. Now, in terms of the grand jury stuff, I mean, Barry Moore has talked about that many times. I know what he would say. He would call it a witch hunt. So there you go. I just want to throw that out there. Someone was asking me about that. Didn't ask the hard enough questions. Wasn't really that kind of debate. It was just a general candidate forum put on by local Republican groups where mostly for the sake of time, in the way it was set up, it was just asking them all the same. They were all answering the same questions. So it just didn't really work that way. I just want to throw that out there for that person who was wondering about that. All right, let's end the show like we usually do. We have the Yaffee program Rewind. Yes, and it is that time of the show once again where I remind you, if you missed the show live, the podcast will be up on the website, WVNN.com, or anywhere you get your podcasts, like Podbean, SoundCloud. Those are maybe a couple of you use those, I don't know. But Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcast, those are really the more common ones. I get it, but you can just download the WVNN app and find it there also. Subscribe, tell your friends, all that. So at the beginning of the show, we were talking about the latest in Iran, and my basic take overall was there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is there are signs of cracks within the Iranian regime. There is obvious divisions, and there's going to be battles between those divisions, which shows that the military campaign has been very effective at causing problems for the regime. And so if your whole strategy, divide and conquer, you could say it's working. There isn't a united front, not only with the Iranian people, but now in the Iranian government. That can be seen as good. But the bad news in relation to that is when you're the most vulnerable, you can also be the most desperate. And when you're desperate, you can also be much more dangerous. And that seems to be something that could be happening here. So we had this problem with the Strait over the weekend where on Friday, we're talking on the show, we're saying it's open. Both sides are saying it's open. And then the IRGC comes out, starts attacking ships and saying they will only follow a command from the Ayatollah, and Trump threatening to bomb their power plants again. And in fact, on that, I played some Trump cuts earlier. So go ahead if you can, Walker, play Trump cut 1 for me.
Maybe I won't extend it, okay. But the blockade is going to remain. But maybe I won't extend it. So you have a blockade, and unfortunately we'll have to start dropping bombs again. We have a situation, I think, that is going to be very beneficial, and the main thing is that Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. You cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon, and that supersedes everything else.
Now, I still think we have to finish the job because of what Trump said there. So we talked about that earlier. Podcast is up. We also had the Alabama bullet points, the top stories from around the state. The podcast of that is up. I'll post it on social media as well. Todd Stacey was on. He's with Alabama Daily News. We talked some new legislation that was signed by Governor Kay Ivey. Also, the U.S. Senate race. A new poll shows it's kind of a toss-up. So if you missed it, good conversation I had with Todd. Then we had the Sunday News Shows recap, where I recap what was talked about on the Sunday News talk shows. Played some cuts from former National Security Advisor, now UN Ambassador Mike Waltz. Go ahead real quick if you can, Walker. Play Mike Waltz, cut one for me.
Is the Strait of Hormuz open or closed right now, Ambassador?
Well, you saw real confusion on the Iranians' part. I think that shows the discord within their ranks after devastating attacks on their leadership. The foreign minister says it's open. The IRGC says it's closed. Regardless, it's the U.S. Navy and President Trump as the commander-in-chief that decides what ultimately comes in and comes out. And I think the bigger picture here is that the Iranian regime cannot hold the entire world's economy hostage. They cannot met out collective punishment because of a dispute over its nuclear program. It's something that will not stand. It's something actually in the United Nations
You can stop it there. I just wanted to kind of recap that. So we had a lot more cuts during the Sunday News Show's recap. So if you missed it, the podcast of that is up. We had What's Trending with Walker, of course, as usual. Thanks to Walker for producing. Thanks to you for listening. I'll be back tomorrow at the same time. See you then.
The Yaffee Program. The countdown is on for the 2026 NFL Draft presented by Bud Light. Catch all 7 rounds, 3 days, live from Pittsburgh, April 23rd through 25th. Watch every pick live on NFL Network, ESPN, and ABC. NFL Network is also streaming with NFL Plus. It all starts Thursday, April 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern. Visit NFL.com/draft for more information. Subscription required for NFL Plus. Visit plus.nfl.com for terms.
This isn't your average podcast.
This pod is about to be crazy. I don't even know what's going to happen.
This is Full Send.
It's just like a boys' scrap.
Join the party.
We threw like a spontaneous party out of nowhere. It was crazy. And we pulled off a crazy prank.
Pranks, parties, and viral culture at its wildest.
Just seeing like the guys that you brought in and like seeing their different personalities and stuff. It's been entertaining, dude.
So this could be the greatest content builder of all time, bro.
The Full Send podcast.
Dude, let's get ready to rumble.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Let's do it.
This isn't your average podcast.
This pod is about to be crazy. I don't even know what's going to happen.
This is Full Send.
It's just like a boys' scrap.
Join the party.
We threw like a spontaneous party out of nowhere. It was crazy. And we pulled off a crazy prank.
Pranks, parties, and viral culture at its wildest.
Just seeing like the guys that you brought in and like seeing their different personalities and stuff. It's been entertaining, dude.
So this could be the greatest content builder of all time, bro.
The Full Send podcast.
Dude, let's get ready to rumble.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Let's do it.